The idea behind the Hartford Fire and Public Safety Complex Pride of Place project is to infuse public spaces in this new signature civic building with content, imagery, displays, and information that convey a sense of the rich cultural heritage of Hartford's most historic neighborhood. Project curator and exhibition developer Bill Hossley visited the building on May 31st and met with Dwight Bolton and Daniel Haim, who immediately noted that the historical graphics program had already been worked out for the soffit over the entry lobby offices, and that Connecticut Historical Society was providing pictures related to the history of police and fire in Hartford. Is that it? I hope we'll do more and also find a way to pull the story of the building's location into the lobby experience. To have gone so far in reflecting the historic character of the 2nd North District School building it's replaced and not go an inch or two further and explain why it matters could be a missed opportunity. There are other spaces where flat-screen presentations might be presented, scrim displays hung from the ceiling, and small to mid-sized sections of wall utilized to enhance sense of place. This needn't result in excessive clutter or duplication, but probably does require a discussion with the architects. Carefully chosen and skillfully designed and presented, photographs can enliven a space and create an almost architectural sense of place. A photo mural as a backdrop for a flat-screen presentation could, in a small space, tell the story of the National Register Historic District where the new public safety building is located and where the school building that inspired it was a signature landmark of great social and architectural significance. Backlit photographs can be dazzling and are part of a revolution in presentation technology that brings the past to life through pictures. Whether affixed to exterior walls, mounted on stanchions, or built into the setting as kiosks, the signage technology is evolving rapidly. Words and pictures in weatherproof materials enliven the visitor experience and convey pride of place for employees and visitors. A delivery system for content, outdoor signage can now incorporate quick response codes and other devices that enable visitors to access videos, maps, photographs, and tour information that succinctly conveys the history and landmarks that make this historic North Hartford neighborhood special. Here's why it matters. When architect Melvin Hapgood designed the 2nd North District School in 1891, this Romanesque masterpiece immediately became the architectural centerpiece of Hartford's most ethnically diverse neighborhood, a neighborhood now experiencing the first major investment in generations in the replication of the historic landmark for the new public safety complex, but also in the first ever restoration of Old North Cemetery nearby. Look at what we've got. The historic intersection of Albany Avenue with Main and High Streets was once, and can be again, a gateway to the heart of the city, and a place that radiates pride of place, cultural diversity, and safety. That the city of Hartford is completing a major construction project based on the historic 2nd North District School at the same time that it's making an unprecedented investment in Old North Cemetery sends a message that North Hartford is a place to remember and a place that matters. This neighborhood has had various names over the years, including Clay Arsenal. Clay Hill is the geographical feature, and the arsenal was the state arsenal, shown here and used by militias to store armaments and the state's famous Civil War regimental flags until they were moved to the Capitol in 1879, and the arsenal replaced a century ago by a new state armory next to the Capitol. This state arsenal, on the present location of Sand School, a short walk from the public safety complex, was eventually demolished. The Upper Main Street, North Hartford area is home to the largest concentration of cemeteries in Hartford, where Hartford's history is alive and well. This is Old North Cemetery, established in 1808 and now the focus of a major restoration. Next door is Spring Grove Cemetery, the first private cemetery in Hartford and the final resting place of many epic personalities and the largest concentration of Civil War veterans. These are some of the epic personalities buried in North Hartford, artists, writers, and visionaries, including, clockwise from the upper left, the Reverend Horace Bushnell, Frederick Law Olmsted, sculptor Edward Bartholomew, artist Frederick Church, and writer Lydia Sigourney. Preachers, preservationists, and philanthropists, clockwise from upper left, include Daniel Wadsworth, freedom fighter James Pennington, Reverend Nathan Strong, Connecticut Historical Society founder and antiquarian Thomas Robbins, and preservationist Julia Isham. James Batterson, the founder of Travelers Insurance Company, started out in North Hartford as a monument maker. His sculpture studio was located next to the Kinney Clock Tower. His monuments are among the treasures of Old North and Spring Grove cemeteries. The neighborhood has some fabulous architecture, including this turreted Victorian mansion across the way on Ann Street, Pedro Antonio Laria's Flatiron Building of 1889, and a house on nearby Belden Street known as Mini Mark because it is a smaller version of Mark Twain's house. You'll see numerous historic houses of worship nearby, including Sacred Heart, Faith Congregational, Union Baptist, and AME Zion, congregations that tell the story and sustain the rich ethnic mix of the neighborhood. The neighborhood was a streetcar suburb. Residents living in apartment complexes like these could walk or take public transportation to jobs downtown. Then there are the cultural attractions like the Isham Terry House Museum immediately adjoining the public safety complex on High Street. It is Hartford's most authentic 19th century house museum. A time capsule, not a restoration, Isham Terry tells the story of two heroic women who stood up to the wrecking ball of urban renewal and highway construction and never gave up on the neighborhood they loved. The Kinney Clock Tower, designed by architect Charles Haight, was modeled after the 14th century Tour Saint-Jacques in Paris, shown on the right. Haight designed Phelps and Vanderbilt halls at Yale, and in 1898 was commissioned by Walter and Henry Kinney to design a memorial for their mother, which was built on the site of the family home, shown in the upper right. It has carillon bells and is an extraordinary work of art that is occasionally open for tours. Old North is the only part of Hartford left where every arriving ethnic group got their start. It's Hartford's answer to the Lower East Side of Manhattan and was home to Hartford's thriving turn-of-the-century Jewish population and the site of many Jewish burial grounds. St. Patrick's Catholic Cemetery also adjoins Old North and Spring Grove and is especially rich in Irish heritage. Old North Cemetery has a large concentration of African American veterans of the Civil War. The 29th Regiment of Colored Troops stages a memorial service there every year. Jamaicans, West Indians, and Latinos are the majority here today and are leading the Friends of Old North Cemetery effort to use the neighborhood's history and to inspire pride of place and greater respect for historic North Hartford, a place to remember. History and art live on to the degree that we celebrate, reflect, and remember. Welcome to Old North and congratulations to the City of Hartford for completing a dream of many years in bringing the service and symbolism of public safety back to the heart of the city. This is a production of Bill Hossley and Terra Firma Northeast. For tours, information, and inspiration, visit us on Facebook at Historic Hartford or at WNHOSLEY at SNET.net.